Hey everyone, Craig Williams here, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to show you a bit more on the vocal. So in the last video, I showed you how to use Recycle to cut up a vocal into the transits, and then so you can sort of get one-shot sounds and start to use those sounds in your track. So you can sort of not have to use a whole vocal sample or something like that. You can turn it into something a little bit more original. The vocal that I chose didn't really work, and that's how things go. Like, not everything that you put in the track is going to work. It's a lot of trial and error. So I utilize another vocal that I had, which is it's a bit better. It's got a more sort of more going on in the vocal, which sort of helps. And I just sort of just quickly put in this little pattern just by mashing around on the keyboard for a while. I didn't sort of, like, these things can take a while again, so I didn't record me doing it. It was just me sort of playing around. So, and that with the track, it's a little bit out, but you can sort of get the idea that I'm going for here. It's just going to take a little bit to get it to work. I think it works a little bit better. As you can hear there, I think the vocal works a little bit better. It's a bit funkier and there's a little bit more going on. The last one was just kind of a bit dead. So we'll just go through. Maybe. Let's process it a bit. So you can see that there's not much in the low end, it's just a little bit, but so we just... Most of the time the vocals sort of sit around this mid-range, and as you notice that I'm scooping out a lot of the mid-range, and it's kind of a habit that I do. And also, when you're making dance tracks, stuff that's in the mid-range can really just clog up your track. So if you cut away the mid-range, you can sort of get this perception where the low and the high is going to be louder. So a lot of the time I'll just sort of scoop out, but because it's a vocal, I'll just leave it as is, and I'll just sort of accent a little bit of it so we can help it cut through the mix a bit. Maybe just... maybe a bit of... put a compressor on. As you can see, I just use Logic stuff. I find that it's really good, and you guys can do the same, or if you think you can do better with some other stuff, hey, whatever's more comfortable, but this for me kind of works, so I just go with it. All I'm looking for is around about 1 dB gain reduction, just to take the sort of the peaks off the top. So if you just, where are we, something, if you can imagine that this is the vocal here, it's obviously not, but if this is a vocal, all I'm doing is just taking the sort of the highest parts off the vocal, and just helping sort of control it a little bit better. If I, let's see if I, let's go here, let's see if I can get it to show that. So we'll take that off. If I was to see it working there. So I just want to sort of tame it a little bit. This is a really good plugin if you haven't seen it already. It's a free plugin. You can see what's actually going on with your audio. So if your speakers aren't as good, you can really tighten it up. And I did it on my mixdown tutorial a while ago. There's a link to it. So if you go back and find that one, you can get the link. Next up, we want to add some reverb to the sound. Wouldn't mind adding maybe a little delay in there, just to add a little bit more to the tail of the sound. And let's pull this down. One thing it's kind of can work is where a delay is, a tape delay, and just go quarter note feedback, change it to eighth note, pull down the wet. Pull this down. Don't want any flutter. And I just want to thicken up the vocal a little bit so we can put a chorus on there. And this is only going to be yeah, wasn't really happy with that delay, so we're going to take that off. To make sure with the added plugins it's not changing the sound too much anymore. So another little effect we can do. So I think it's coming along pretty good there. Next up, I think we'll either add a little bit more to the drums and then start the arrangement, but apart from that, it's getting pretty close. Until next time, see you later.